Assalamu alaikum grade 7 students. Today you'll be revising grammar lesson number 2 and the topic is relative pronouns. Before we see the definition, there are some points to remember. What are the relative pronouns we use for humans, things and both? Well, we use who, whose, whom for humans, which for things, and that can be used for both. Let's see the definition now. A relative pronoun is one which introduces a subordinate clause. It relates the subordinate clause to the noun to which it refers in the main clause. What it means? Let's see the definition and find what it means. Everyone cheered the player. He scored 3 goals. He is the subject form. So we need a relative pronoun subject form to relate these two sentences. To relate the subordinate clause to the main clause, we need a subject form of he as a relative pronoun. So what will you be using? You'll be using who. Everyone cheered the player who scored 3 goals. And students, please look at the word that in the box at the bottom. It can be used for both, but usually it comes with superlative: all, little, everything, much and none. Now see, relative pronoun whom. As you know, it was in the third column and it is an object form of who. When it is not doing something and something is done on it, then whom is the form we use. This is the person. I talk to you about him. I talk to you. I did something. I talk to you about him. Him. Look at him. It is in purple. This is for which we need a relative pronoun to join the subordinate clause to the main clause. This is the person. So you need a relative pronoun which we use for humans. Who, whose, whom. Him is object form. So you need an object form of who. That is whom. This is the person whom I talk to you about. Whom I talk to you about. Now see the relative pronoun whose. Whose is the possessive form. It is the possessive form of who and shows possession, that somebody owns something. We comforted the woman. Her savings were lost in a fire. We comforted the woman dash savings. We need a relative pronoun to join these two clauses. Her is the word for which we need a relative pronoun. So we'll be using whose to join these two clauses. Whose savings were lost in a fire. We comforted the woman whose savings were lost in a fire. Now see relative pronoun which. Students, remember that it replaces it. We saw a film. It was very amusing. So this time we are talking about film and it is a thing. It is not human. So it is the pronoun used for it in the subordinate clause in the second sentence. And this will be replacing with which to make a longer sentence with the relative pronoun which. We saw a film which was very amusing. For in place of it, we'll be using which was very amusing. Now see another example. He likes the book. We gave it to him. Again, which is there, and this time it is going to replace an object. Look, he likes the book. Book is object here. We gave it. We did something and we did some action on it. So it is object here. We gave it to him. And now see the answer. He likes the book. Dash we give to him. It is no more here because we are going to use in place of it a relative pronoun which will join these two clauses now. He likes the book which we gave to him. Students, let's solve some parts of exercise 1. Fill in the blanks with the relative pronoun who or which, and which is written in both colors, blue and purple. That means it can be used as a subject and as an object, both ways. Here is the pen. Dash you lent me. Pen is not a human, so you can't use who. Use which you lent me. And here it is an object form because it didn't do anything. You did something. You gave it to me. You lent it to me. Okay? Here is the pen which you lent me. Therefore, it is in purple color. We have not met the family. Dash live next door. Family usually comes as a collective noun, but in this case it is not a collective noun because there is live, and it shows that we are talking about not the family but the family members. We are taking it as plural. Collective nouns are taken as singular, but in case we mean the members, then we take them as plural. We have not met the family. So we are talking about the members, the persons, they are humans who live next door. Who will be the correct relative pronoun? And it is subject form. So it is in blue color. Now see the third example. This is the student. Student is one, and dash comes from South Africa. We want a relative pronoun which is subject form, which is subject and which is human. So it is quite clear that we need again who. Now I hope you can solve the rest of the parts of this exercise. Now see the exercise 2. Fill in the blanks with who, whom, whose, which. This is as a subject and as an object, or that as a subject and that as a object. I like the shirt dash you gave me for my birthday. Shirt is not a human being, so you will not be using who, whose or whom. Now you have only two options, which or that. Use that when you see every or all or something like that, or superlatives, then use that. But in this case, use which. I like the shirt which you gave me for my birthday. Shirt. So it's easy for you to use which because the same form is used for both as a subject and as an object. Now see the second example, second sentence. Have you forgotten all dash I told you? All is here. Have you forgotten all that I told you? You'll be using that because whenever you see all, every, or some superlatives, then you use that. Now see the third sentence. He remembers the registration number of the car. Dash knocked him down. Dash knocked him down, which did something. So it is the car that knocked him down. Which pronoun will you be using for car? Which? It is actually which that you'll be using. Which knocked, and it is blue. It shows that it is now subject form. In the first sentence, it was in object form because it was in purple. And you gave it to me. You did something. You did the action. So it is object form in sentence A, and in sentence C it is in subject form because now it is doing something. It knocked him down. I hope now you can solve the rest of the parts of this exercise yourself. See the third exercise. Join each pair of sentences using the correct relative pronoun. This is the composer. I enjoy his music. In this case, his music, his is the possessive form which shows the possession of music, his music. So this will be joining two clauses and you need a relative pronoun for it. This is the composer. Dash music I enjoy. Whose music I enjoy. Now see the second sentence. This book is not useful. He recommended it. Now it has been used for book. This book is not useful. You can't use, you need which to join these two sentences, but you can't use it after useful because you need the relative pronoun just after the word it relates to, like this. This book dash he recommended is not useful. Now it, what will you use for it? You will use which. This book which he recommended is not useful. See the third example, third sentence. My friend helps me to pronounce the words correctly. He knows French. Now we need to join these two sentences. He has been used for my friend, so this clause will be used right after my friend. My friend helps me to pronounce the words correctly. Again we need space. My friend dash knows the French. Who knows the French? He is doing an action. He knows and this is his action and he does it. So he, the subject form of he will be used here. My friend who knows the French helps me to pronounce the words correctly. Now I hope you can solve the rest of the exercise by yourself. We have done 3 examples. This is the composer. I enjoy his music. And this book is not useful. He recommended it. My friend helps me to pronounce the words correctly. He knows French. You have already read this lesson in your classrooms. Now confirm your concepts with the help of this video. I hope you have learned something more and confirmed your concepts. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Take care. Allah Hafiz.